Hey YouTube, good morning. Today we're working on a 2020 Mercedes Benz GLS450. This has a inline 6 turbo, and today we are replacing the AC compressor, which on this vehicle is located on the driver's side, just beneath the intake, on the driver's side of the engine. And at this point, I've got the compressor completely loose, and I thought this would be a good place to start the tutorial. The approach for this compressor removal is from the bottom. You're going to want to remove the belly pan, give yourself a good amount of space. Second, you'll notice that there is a oil cooler over here on the vehicle, and it's kind of locked into the bottom of the radiator. There's just a clip on top. I don't know if you can see, but right where my finger is, there's a clip on top that you push in, and this will just free up. This will free up, and you want to have that play because those oil cooling lines are directly in the way, and freeing them up will give you some space. There are 3 bolts that hold the compressor on. They're located, I'm going to show you the old compressor. Just to give you some perspective, this is about how the compressor sits in the vehicle, and it's pretty much on this type of angle here. You've got 1 bolt, 2 and 3 bolts, and they are all accessed from the bottom fairly easily. You want a flex head ratchet to take them off, and various size extensions, wobbly extensions probably preferred. The torque or the hardware, I believe, is E12. These are E12s, and that's how this compressor secures to the frame, or to the engine bracket. The first steps, I'm walking you through this in reverse, but the first steps are just to disconnect the lines, starting, I believe, with the right-hand side line first. Once you have this removed, you'll have easier access to the left-hand side, the discharge line. This is going to be a T45 Torx bolt. It's not torqued too hard. You can use a short throw type of ratchet. In this case, I used a setup like this. Here's my E12, and that was enough. I got enough power on it to torque it off. Following those removal of these 3, or these 2 lines rather, then you'll attack these 3. There is a clip where the wiring harness clips into the compressor here, and then is additionally clipped on here just with a press clip. So you want to remove that first, give yourself a little slack, and then this pops right off. Small tab, push the tab up, pinch the tab, and remove. Just a quick pointer, because this is where we're at right now. The wiring, this is an electric drive compressor, by the way, in case I didn't mention that. And this vehicle is relatively new. There's only about 45,000 miles, and it appears to have failed internally. The high pressure side was not exceeding 120 psi, and the low pressure side was stuck up at around 60. So it's just simply tired. This is Arizona. A lot of usage on this AC, I'm sure, with this, given this heat. But anyway, I surmise that the electric drive on this is probably compromised just because of the heat. Arizona is particularly hard on electric motors due to the heat and due to the dust. But that being said, this is the wiring harness where your positive and negative go to this motor. To get these off, there are 2 covers that just pop up. They're just clipped down, and I'll show you that on the other compressor. And the harness essentially fits on top of these prongs and slides into these grooves here. After about 45,000 miles, this plastic was pretty much fused to the harness plastic, and you can see how small these grooves are right here. So what I recommend doing is spraying a little silicone or some type of lubricant, and then going underneath the vehicle and then tapping up this way, nice and lightly on the harness to kind of wiggle it loose. and that was successful in this case. So here we are now at the vehicle, and I just want to show, this is the approach. Everything again is done from the bottom as far as the hardware, except for the harness, 2 harnesses. And let's see if we get the camera work here. Here is your harness, and these clips just kind of come up like this. They snap both in the back position and the front position, just like that. All right, these are clips. These are 13 nuts to hold these on. I used a long extension, in this case from up top, to get down on those. And just, you can pretty much, what I do is I actually just connected this evap solenoid right here. I just loosened it up off its harness, moved out of the way, and this is the approach right through here. Right in this angle, you can get a pretty straight shot directly to those bolts to secure them. And tighten up those and torque those. You can take a look at the torque specs. It's probably about 20 Newton meters, maybe 10 to 15 Newton meters. And so that will secure the harness. And once that's done, again, we go in reverse order. We're then going to take the other plug here. Okay. Once that is secured, we're going to insert that, and then we go to the bottom and we reposition the AC compressor onto its bracket, and then insert the 3 bolts, and then insert the lines, the high pressure and low pressure side line, in the reverse order. And so that is generally the approach. You've got a good amount of room. If I haven't shown you underneath the vehicle, the entire job is done like this. There's one more point to make. This is the sway bar. I highly recommend moving it off its bracket here. Just 2 bolts. These are 18s. Pop those out here. Pop those out here. And bungee the sway bar forward out of the way, so you've got a really good access. Here's a better view of the oil cooler. You can see how where it plugs in here. It just seats right in there, and then clip at the top to secure that. So I loosen this up just to create a little more play, make sure these lines don't get damaged. And this compressor slides forward and then twists and comes out right through here. Plenty of room. All right, so that is the procedure and the approach for a 2020, I think through like 23 maybe. You'll have to look that up. A 2020 and upward Mercedes Benz GLS450. And we'll follow up if there's anything else pertinent regarding the recharge procedure. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope this has given someone a bit of extra confidence to attack this. Have a blessed afternoon.